that you're ignoring the most? The homeless, disabled, and men. I'm a little bit frazzled having to deal with that stalker from Hood River. How's that supposed to feel comfortable to somebody like me? Meanwhile, let me show you something. It's a bag full of evidence. Got more evidence over there. More bags of evidence back there. And underneath these piles of, well, food. Anything that might possibly keep me alive, you know. Pretty important stuff. I gotta go upstairs and see if hopefully my computer's done doing something useful. And for the time being, I'm having problems finding my USB drive. I gotta be able to clean out my vehicle, and I'm not physically able. Unlike a woman, I don't have access to a whole bunch of people volunteering to help me with this shit. I have to literally beg people and pay people for help. Because I'm not able. Which is a far cry from just not being willing to try. Which is where many of the women that I have issue with, well, I ended up having the issue with. When they wanted help, all they had to do was ask, and they got it. Am I jealous of that? No. I'm pissed off that I'm victimized over it. Over sexism. And then I'm told, oh, well, it's not my fault that people are like that. It's your fault that you're like that. It's your choice to be like that. If I treat you the way that you treat me, how well am I treated? Am I treated like a person? A lot of people say, oh, Sean, you need to shut up, you're bitching, that's what women do. Well, I'm trying to get help. And that requires information and sharing of that information. Fuck. There's so much stuff in here. Over and over with that, I don't know what his name is. I think it's Murphy. I've had to deal with, well, him stalking me over and over again. You always make sure to let me know that he's there by staring at me as long as possible. And that's pretty unnerving to know that I really can't go to the police. They're not going to do anything. They're gonna tell me to go do a bunch of stuff that I've already tried alone, and it doesn't work. And you don't have the money to keep running around all these services that they're telling you are supposed to help somebody who's in this situation. Ain't none of them helping, and it's costing me money and time to go to all of them. I'm told to go to my friends and family, and what do? They show me they don't have any respect for me and don't care what I'm going through. Too busy talking about themselves.
How can I help you?
I just wanted to thank you for existing.
Oh, thank you.
I want to thank that lady who was just here for existing, but I'm not going to call her up here. I'm sure I'll see her again.
Yeah, I'll let her know too.
If I wander around long enough, I'll eventually figure out all the spots where it doesn't work in the library.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely spots where it works better than others.
Yes, ma'am. There's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna have to erase on my computer just to make room for anything at all. Woohoo, right? rid of some of this stuff. Some of the games on here that I never play. Hopefully it'll make some room. I'm tired of having to do this over and over. I don't have much time at all, and this is inhumane to force somebody into a position like this. Like, I literally can't defend myself. Why the fuck are you just letting people do whatever the hell they want to me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Last time I used Steam was on my birthday in 2020. 10/18/2020. Slow. Let me show you what I'm working with here. I'm fucking killing myself walking right here like this. On the bright side, just walking without a bunch of stuff with me doesn't hurt nearly as much. Alright, so what do we got going on with the LGBT community? A lot of hate and a lot of blame and a lot of stuff that's not our fault. not our decision. There's many of us who are lending our voices for you, but you're not lending your voices for us. Many of us, we get to see how these trolls, if they do this stuff to, they do that stuff to somebody else. It's okay to write. Many of us had predators from within the LGBT community. We do not blame the entire LGBT community. Some people do, but not all of us. However, just like with Catholic priests, we do have to point out the fact that it's not just the priests and the clergy, it's also the congregation who wants to turn a blind eye and look the other way. Same thing with every other form of government. I have a lot of people that I know that are LGBT that I care very much about. But that doesn't mean that I owe it to them to take their abuse or to pretend that the situation is a way that it certainly is not. Yes, maybe the socioeconomic issues that led you to be homeless or because of your skin color or because of your gender. When you're on the streets, yeah, it's going to be because you're homeless that you're victimized, man or woman. And women are far more likely to get away with committing crimes against us out here. They're far more likely to commit the crimes to begin with, and they're far more likely to try to convince somebody else to do the crime instead of them, to do it for them, as a show of loyalty or friendship or the possibility of something more. Meanwhile, the news isn't liberal news, it's just news. Unfortunately, with the change in laws recently, it has become tabloid news. So it's about stirring the mud, getting people hateful at each other. And I am completely screwed. Oh, here's another one from my birthday in 2020. In 2020. Alright, there's another thing not good. Right up Diablo first. Or Discord. I'll go to Discord. It's not every single straight person's fault that there are straight people who are predators. It is not every single LGBT person's fault that there are LGBT folks who are predators. But the whole silence is violence thing is still always, not just for your group, because you want to pretend you have it worse. Because when it comes down to it, the disabled and the homeless have it worse. Especially men. Those are the people at the very top of every single one. All of these groups who are most likely to be victimized and least likely to be heard. See, is this the right papers or is this just jotting paper? Just jotting paper. That works. Obviously, I'm not out to hurt anybody, to get anybody innocent killed or anything of that nature. I'm not even trying to get guilty people killed. You know why? Because killing is wrong. But that's a lot of y'all's first go-to. I tried to explain to you that a lot of the racists that I grew up with were black. And a lot of racist white kids that I knew growing up were racist because people beat them up for being white. A lot of people beat us up for being white. As men, we're already born with a disability. Our disability is that we're not very likely to be heard. I'm installing a steam. Hopefully that clears up some room too. It sucks having to do that, but my heavens could save lives, including my own. When people are making their decisions based on likability, how much you like somebody, instead of what the actual evidence shows, we've got some serious problems. My LGBT friends consider me hetero. My hetero friends consider me LGBT. I consider myself a human. How odd is that? But if we're going to be absurd about it, I can be absurd. We all know how to play stupid, every one of us. Some of us just think that it's stupid to have to do so. I'm not going to stop fighting for the LGBT community. I have too many friends that are LGBT, that are harmed often and frequently. And regardless of what you consider conventional thinking, the fact is not everybody has to believe the way that you do. You only think that in your own mind. Your education is lacking in that situation. Charge I got. The homeless community has a lot of LGBT folks in it, both men and women. There's a lot of them theys, a lot of he's, a lot of she's. There's every tone of skin color possible out on the streets. Every socioeconomic background, or darn near. When you're broke and no one cares. You're victimized until you have nothing, and then you're told that it's your fault you have nothing, that you chose it, especially if you're a male. A male is not allowed to tell on his abuser. And they're allowed to harm him for it. That's not okay. I don't know what FNAF is. Someone called himself AJ the FNAF fan. Maybe it's an acronym. AJ the F and Air Force fan or something. I don't know. Hello. Don Medford typed hi. Hello. Are y'all accounts here to harass me? Or are you people who are new to the channel? I do have quite a few trolls who get on, make up names, make up accounts, get on here just to make fun of me or tease me. They're called trolls. Now that's one of the things that's really messed up about the media. The media is really trying to twist some words in a real harsh way. In a way that A, they weren't said, and B, they weren't meant. Now for me, I don't like pretending I don't like Canadians. Or pretending I don't like straight people, or pretending I don't like men. Or pretending I don't like women. But if you'll notice on my channel, I go through phases and I try to cover everybody. I try to make sure you all understand that in a nation of we the people, we are responsible to each other and for each other. Instead of condemning your neighbor for stealing a loaf of bread, condemn yourself because you had to. For many of the people that I went to for help before Natalie Bollinger was killed, I understand why they wanted to hide in the corner like rats. It's because they're cowardly. They don't want to be targeted by women's groups. Anybody who plays video games knows what trolls are. When you get sarcasm, I want you to know, I get on a lot of these sites, and I give them the same grr that I'm getting. I absolutely do. People who are hurt people. I'm tired of the LGBT community blaming heteros for all their problems. I'm tired of heteros blaming LGBT for all their problems. I'm tired of Christians blaming Muslims or atheists for all their problems. I was going to try to make some calls today and try to record them just like I was going to try to do yesterday. But getting my computer to even work now is near impossible. When I give people a tiny taste of what they've given me, or a tiny taste of what I go through every single day, just a tiny taste of it, they flip their wigs, and they act in a way which they pretend is inappropriate if I do it. Those of you who come on here and try to understand, I want you to try to understand this. I protect my LGBT friends, even though they don't protect me. I protect my female friends, even though they don't protect me. I protect those in my community, even though they don't protect me. I am targeted often for sticking up for different people who could give two shits less if people harm me over it. It's not right. I have communication issues, and much of my communication issues on here is that there's stuff that I can't say on Facebook, I can't say on YouTube, or I'll get in trouble. Be damned if it's the truth or not. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the truth. They care about bias. They care about who it is that they're allowed to hate, who they're allowed to blame it on, who it's socially acceptable to do those things to. I've been digging in here for some stuff that is pretty friggin' important. For example, I need to find my iPad. I got that from David and Katie Saltzman of Beaverton, Oregon before they disappeared. They got a friend they owe some money to, but I'm hoping that friend will be able to help to find them and get them safe first and foremost. I'm not sure if I set the camera at an angle where you can see me because I'm not looking backwards, but this really friggin' hurts. I'm not even allowed to say that because I'm a dude. You're supposed to just man up, man up, man up. You tell me, oh Sean, don't be afraid to express your emotions or speak up. And then I speak up to express my emotions and you tell me I'm evil for it. It's weird. Like, why do you have different rules for me than for you? Why is it the rules that are supposed to protect us are actually used to harm us? Why is it so easy to do? There's easy answers to all those things. Lack of civilian oversight. Lack of family who gives a shit enough to look. Lack of friends who give a shit enough to look. Oh, damn it. Well, I'm gonna have to get inside now, and get my stuff packed up. It's a bunch of overwhelming stuff that I got in here. Just a bunch of crap. Some of it I got because people said, hey, if you get this or you get that, then I'll help you. If you don't have this or if you don't have that, it means you're not trying to help yourself. You're not trying to take care of yourself. You need this and you need that and you need this and you need that and buy this and buy that. And hey man, I can't help you until I have this or I have that. Sean, I gotta worry about myself first. Alright, well worry about yourself first. But don't ignore me or treat me like shit when I'm going through hell and then expect me to drop everything for you. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, when you want to get a hold of me, after treating me completely like shit, and you want to get a hold of me and say, hey Sean, oh I know what's up, you're going to ask me for something, you need me to do something, you want me to do something. Well, I wanted you to do something too, I just wanted you to tell the truth. That goes out to every single one of you who were my friends before Natalie Bollinger was killed. All of you claim to be my friends anyway. God damn it, fucking hurts. I hope they weren't stolen. I hope that they're buried in here somewhere. I've moved everything in here at least twice. You don't try to understand how overwhelming this is. Alright, I found it. I found them. Alright. Very good. Alright. If you steal my sunshine. Yes, I found my USB drives. My major issue right now is I can't find my iPad charger. It's got some evidence on there that's pretty important I'd like to show again. But I gotta get up there and get my stuff moved. And hopefully this bag will hold together well enough that I can tie my stuff together in it and hold it on my side. That way I don't have to hold as much in my hand. I also got to see if they can let me use one of their parts. Hopefully with Steam completely off my computer will run faster. With all the games that were on Steam not on it, hopefully it'll run faster. Someone calling themselves URMPM, how old are you? Ancient as fuck. The news, one of the news stations tried claiming I was 43 years old when Natalie Bollinger was killed. I wasn't. I was 37. I was 37 when Natalie was killed. I'm not even 43 now. I'm 42. I was born October 18th, 1980 in Scottsbluff, Nebraska at 10:27 a.m. A lot of my friends who are into star charts and stuff like to look mine up and tell me about how powerful I'm supposed to be. It's cute, but it's not realistic. Either we work together or we get nothing. Why have I stuck up for black people my entire life? Why have I stuck up for the LGBT community my entire life? Why have I stuck up for women and children my entire life? Because I know what it's like to be the underdog. I know what it's like to be kicked around. I know what it's like to not be heard. let's get on it, right? If you steal my sunshine. Alright, so I have my stuff up in the mountains. I have a charge on most of my other electronics. I have a card that I can use to try to make a GoFundMe, but I could sure use help sharing it. Hopefully having I think what I did was get the wrong card. I think it's just a $20 card. It can be up to $200. No, I didn't get that one. I'm fairly certain I made sure I double checked on that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Roar, I'm a big scary bear.
Okay.
I wanted, we've got all sorts of cool stuff all over the wall. I figure if there's a place for imagination, I'll just pretend I have one here.
Okay.
Is there any, just one of your cards to take my stuff out of my
Yes.
car? Thank you, ma'am. I'll bring it back just like the last one. Spray painted with sprinkles. Just kidding, I won't do
That would
that.
actually be a good idea. Because all these carts are, just like old, rusted, tattered, like do like just like some kind of fun spray paint on them.
I could make stencils, anything that you want to put on those, fairies, rainbows, garden gnomes.
Here you go, sir.
It would be fun. I would like pretty cards.
You asked Don.
You know, there's plenty of room. I'm sure there's people willing to donate paint. I'm sure I have some.
Yeah, it's just a matter of it, yes.
Hey, if we can have murals on the wall, we can have murals on the cart. Connection issues on the right side. I do have some of this stuff plugged in. I think the steam was probably what was eating up all the space on my computer. It's still going in. don't know what all the shooter part is for. It's from ARC, so it is a shooter game, I guess, first person. At least that's what it's considered, but if you've ever played it, you don't start off with a gun, you start off with punching trees, wood, and picking up rocks. One thing that always bugged me is that I could never figure out how to just throw a rock. Like that. If you're supposed to hunt the animal and eat it, how are you going to eat it if you can't hit it with a rock? I forgot Ark was such a massive game. I got a download that's, or not a download, it's trying to get rid of a file that's on my computer that's just taking really long because it's a video game. So I was wondering if I could get just a few more minutes in the room, hopefully, unless someone else is scheduled like immediately.
No. Shall we check back in half an hour, so 3 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
That'll.
Thank you much. Also, I'm not sure if I told you or not already. I have Tourette syndrome, so I do this with my wrist. I wink. So if I wink at you, I'm not hitting on you or trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. Also, I lock myself up. Looks like I'm gonna be here for a while. yeah, there's literally no reason to even try. There is literally no reason to do anything except end my own life. Without one person who actually gives a shit. This is what I'm fucking stuck with. I have no time for myself. I just have time by myself, where literally everyone around me shows that they don't care what abuse I go through. I try to tell people about the abuse I'm going through and what they can do to help. Instead, what do? They make it a fucking pissing contest. Or literally show that they haven't heard a word that I've said by talking over me and telling me to do things that they know I'm not capable of fucking doing. God damn it. You fucking pieces of shit. But it's fine because we're focusing on the LGBT community, right? I'm not buying Budweiser, but then again, I didn't before any of that. I have to deal with the same hateful POSs that you do. Even if you classify me as one of those pieces of shit, do you really think that makes it true? I can't even bring this stuff in enough to keep the maintenance up on the computer, to keep it up and running so that I can actually use it, so that I can actually record phone calls, because I'm just gonna get blown off without you fucking idiots giving a shit. guess I can use the phone here. I charge it. Way faster. Yeah, way faster.